In this midweek special, we're sharing audio recorded by Franklin Lopez of Amplifier Films out of Montreal with Palestinian journalist Hamza M Salha, who lives in North Gaza, describing the conditions with the resumption of the escalated genocide being conducted by the Israeli settler-colonial military. Hamza speaks about the ways that people are informed of incoming bombing raids, shares about sleepless nights in the midst of falling bombs and the rubble in the tents, clearly exhausted himself. He speaks about the availability of food, his thoughts on the strangling and murderous siege of Israel, the failure of the world to stop the genocide and occupation. In our show notes, you can find links to some of the stories that Hamza has written for various outlets, as well as his Instagram account, where you can find videos that Hamza records from the ground. If you want to support him and 40 members of his extended family, and his attempt to get out of Gaza to get medical attention, you can check out his GoFundMe, also linked in the show notes. You can watch the video without any accounts necessary, only a web browser and an internet connection, by visiting the Amplifier Films Mastodon account at collectiva.social, which is also linked in our show notes.
Honestly, I'm trying to be okay as much as I can. I'm struggling to be okay, struggling to act normally, and a bit scared about what is to come and what is waiting for me along with my family. And it's dark, it's unknown, and we don't know what's to come. But according to what we all hear and learn, it's all hell is going to be poured, which I don't wish. Currently I feel paralyzed. I have a lot of things to do, to write, to maybe study, to practice some languages, but I feel paralyzed. I can't do anything, honestly. Gradually, since the returning of this war, like as the time passes, it gets like more intense. And the last night, was the most intense night. A lot of bombing, and it was really so scary. It was so close, and it was unfamiliar, huge and massive and very demolishing weapons were used yesterday. At night I could barely have moments to sleep and to rest. And if you see now under my eyes, this black color, it's always since that night. And also the last night was full of evacuation orders to the people of Beit Lahiya and Beit Hanun and Jabalia as well. A massive area, neighborhoods of Jabalia was threatened and was ordered to evacuate last night. Honestly, it was really so scary. People were so tired. Honestly, the evacuation orders are one of the scariest things that terrifies them, because they always ask one single and one simple question that until now they have no answer for it, which is, where are we to go? When they ask people to go to, for example, Al-Mawasi, or to go south, or to Western Gaza, maybe someone would expect that there will be refugee camps or hotels or somewhere to receive them. Yesterday I was there in Western Gaza. People are setting up their tents in the middle of the streets. Al-Jund al-Majhul street is one of the spine street of Gaza, Western Gaza city, and now it's full of tents. Imagine that it was one day one of the most tourist remarks now has turned to displacement camp. No need to mention what are the horrific and the harsh situation that people who are being displaced there are facing right now. They can neither find access to water, they can neither find access to normal life. It's much less than the level of the normal human life. Neither maybe if they want to have a shower they can't. If they want to go to bathroom they can't. If they want to have a water they can't. To wash their hands they. It's hard to do anything. To charge your phone. To use the internet. To compute your life. Another thing now is having the food. The today is the day number 24th since the closure and the full blockade on Gaza. Nothing entered. Fuel, water, food supplies. The power is already cut. Nothing allowed here. Transportation resulted um, for the blockade of entering the foil. The fuel made it hard to reach from a place to a place. So these people who left their houses from the very north of Gaza Strip, Itlahia, Beit Hanun, uh, in some places of Jabalia, found themselves forced to walk to reach their destination in western Gaza City. Because it's very expensive to find a transportation method. And they came actually on foot and having nothing, no tents. The tents that they spent so much time, they suffered to re-establish them in their neighborhoods. Uh, Now they could not take them to the place where they are going. So they honestly went without anything. They already suffered to get when they were home. We no more say home or homeless. We say tent or tentless. Pumping on tentless and tents is continuing. Honestly, is today just nearby here, the place where I am. Tents were pumped. The collection of tents, a big or deep greater was left now. This is still, and people found themselves like moments before Iftar, found themselves losing everything. They found no food supplies because already bombed along with their tents. They found themselves in the street, and here we are. So this is the least we could suffer. Usually they post. There is a page on Facebook for like an Israeli site called in English the Cooperator. That's how it is. People usually follow this page in order to learn some news or something maybe they want to tell us. So on that page they post an evacuation order. They post a photo for a map that clarifies the red zone um, that is included in the evacuation orders, and they post a caption about, yes, you have to flee this area before we attack, and this is the last warning. Just flee to the um, known, uh, uh, places, to the known places that you usually go, assuming that there are places that we should go to. In fact, there is not. This is so provocative. Go to the known places of, for example, Western Gaza, assuming that there are places that are that are not usually being targeted. This is not true. All places are being targeted, including these places that they are pointing at. Um, and the other way of evacuation, which is more serious, honestly, and means that there will be a ground and a massive demolishing ground operation after, which is by throwing leaflets on us from the sky, from the drones. Usually these leaflets contain the same content that is posted on social media, and it's so scary. People go to pick them up to read, to know what is going to happen. Actually, after this warning, people don't usually have much time to flee. People usually don't have much time to flee, and they don't have the time to take their stuff. They don't have the time, nor the way, nor the place where to go, nor the destination. That's how. Just go. Go. If there will be the hell, just go. In the end, here we are, showing the world that we are warning you. Every time. Every time. Yeah, say it. The stores of food in Gaza right now are still not 100% empty yet. Uh, it's not about now. Maybe, yes, now we can live on the least amount of food we can. But if this will continue for maybe 2 weeks, uh, then starvation will be literally here. Now there is starvation, but as the time passes, it will get more horrific. It will get more serious and serious and serious. We usually now depend on the food that we already stored at home in the time that aids were allowed to enter. On the level in terms of starvation, we have a very harsh experience with the lack of food and starvation. In the first round, the first 6 months of the war, the northern Gaza was besieged and was not allowed to enter any kind of food for us. I remember the time of the flower massacres. The people were crowding in a Nablus street roundabout to waiting for maybe one truck for thousands of people in the north at that time. People were being killed, people were being getting closer in order to get the flower, or found themselves have to run for the truck. The the IDF was ordering the truck drivers to drop the flower on earth before it reaches the people, so people had to run to get closer to the army, and then the army was not making any effort to not target them, to shoot them by either tanks, by rockets, by drones, by everything. Massacres and massacres. People were being targeted. People suffocated with a crowd because they were simply starving. They were craving a loaf of bread. Honestly, I remember that. I remained in the north. I craved to find a loaf of bread. I didn't find it. We were thinking of what are we to feed the children? Spending nights sitting with my family. What are we going to feed our children? What to do? So if this will continue for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or maybe days, this will going to happen again. And this is and if they will open escape to maybe move to a third country, at the time, we of course we will be fleeing just to have that choice of finding food, and this will be called compulsory migration. And then they will show that, wow, they're leaving voluntarily. No, it will not be voluntarily. When they cut everything, food supplies, water, I will be dying to death slowly. Why should I do this to myself? This is not my goals, honestly, but they will be clever. I don't know what's happening, but this is another story, honestly. Now I am making the risk of staying at my on the verge of collapse home. After they spent month, the last ground operation on the place where I live, my neighborhood, they spent 4 months before the last ceasefire took place. They spent 3, 4 consecutive months just demolishing by bulldozers, by the machines, this neighborhood. Left no one single usual standing home. Like, it's a great blessing comparing with the people who are seeing us lucky to have this home standing. But how it is standing, the firms are lost, are like destroyed. 6 out of 20 or 24 firms were demolished. So you can imagine how risky it is to set in this home. The stairs themselves were demolished, and we had to set up wooden stairs instead of the concrete stairs. It cost a lot to do so. In order, we replaced that by wooden stairs in order to be able to reach up to the second and the third floors. So basically, I am residing now at this risky home, and we are struggling still to do anything. One of the things that I think I am lucky is that I am still single until now, because I don't have like children. I don't have like children to be afraid and thinking of their future, thinking of what to feed them, how they feel, how they are scared. Of course, I am so concerned on my nephews and nieces, but yes, at least they are not my children and my sons and daughters. It's not that different, but still I am so scared on the future of the children of my nephews and nieces. This is the only standing home at the neighborhood, by the way. That's why I told you I'm so lucky. You see tents? You see there is the very north, and there is the very north of Gaza, and they are the borders in the horizon. No single standing home. You see there is a tent, and there is a big and deep crater which was bombed among the tents, and we fled the house because nearby bombings is so scary. Otherwise, I'm scared of right now. I don't think that the world can do anything to us, because if I want to talk to the civilians, then the civilians are helpless. But the problem is about the regimes themselves. I honestly want one thing. I want to be greedy. I don't know. I just want to get out of all of that. I don't know. I'm sorry. Just I want to ask the world to help me just to stay safe. I tried so many times to remain here, and I paid for this on the expense of my health and my life and my future. And I was injured before because I remained uh, But I think now the right choice is to look for secure my safety in order to be safe always. I just ask the world if they can just let me be safe. I have a lot to do outside. I can complete my life, my study, and I was abroad before. Because that's the world that could do to us. If I want to ask the world to stop the war, they won't be able to, because the strongest country ever, which is America, is a part of that, and they want to do that, and there is nothing can say no to them. I honestly feel like helpless. I want to get out of all of that. I don't know. I want to just now look for my safety. That's all I can save among all the things I left. I have life here, honestly. Or let me say I had life here. I had home, I had apartment. My parents were preparing to get me married. They built me this apartment where I am right now. But now, everything is deteriorated. I wish I can remain here and the war will be over and everything can be over and reconstruction process takes place and hostages can be submitted and can be released and everything will return. But this is impossible. So I don't want to be stupid and to ask the world to do things they can't do. I want now the least what I can save, the least of what the world could help. I don't know if there are any. Honestly, I'm serious about that. I'm searching around, finding a way to get out of Gaza. At least me, myself, then my family, then Haffa, then children, then to leave to the place where I was in Spain before, and I can reestablish my life there. That's all. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for your call, and thank you for you making films about me, and thank you for everything. Thank you, Franklin. Inshallah. Bye.
To echo Hamza, thank you to Franklin Lopez of Amplifier Films for sharing this audio and creating a video to share Hamza's world with us on the outside. And our deep gratitude to Adrian for the support and Hamza for expressing his experience for the audience. We wish you solidarity and health.
وافضل دايما جنبك على طول وذكريات كل اللي فات فاكرة يا بلدي قلبي مليان بحكايات فاكرة يا بلدي أول حب كان في بلدي مش ممكن أنساه يا بلدي فين أيام زمان قبل الوداع كنا بنقول إن الفراق ده مستحيل وكل دمعة على الخدين كانت بتسيل مليانة بأمل إن احنا نبقى موجودين في بحر الحب على الشطين كلمة حلوة وكلمتين حلوة يا بلدي غنوة حلوة وغنوتين حلوة يا بلدي فين حبيب القلب يا بلدي كان بعيد عني يا بلدي وكل ما بغني بفكر فيه قول يا حبيبي انت سايبني ورايح فين واو واو